The first Eon-sponsored FA Cup semi-final of 2009 in spring sunshine, the way big match Wembley is meant to be. But only one of these clubs can come back for more of it when it matters most next month. Graham Malouda played in a Chelsea-Arsenal Cup final once upon a time. Graham, how do you see this one going?
Well, hopefully for Chelsea, better than the cup final that I played against Arsenal, where we lost 2-0. But it's difficult to know, really, given the circumstances of the previous, midweek games that both teams have had. Be interesting to see if they start a little bit more cautiously and work the ball, working each other out.
Fabregas looking to slide it through for Adebayor. Alex preferred at centre-half for Chelsea today to Ricardo Carvalho. Checks pass for Ivanovic. Found the... It's an uncertain start at the back for Chelsea, who had an uncertain evening at the back against Liverpool on Tuesday. They've had an extra 24 hours to recover from their European exertions. Some would say they needed an extra 24 hours. Here's Walcott looking to torment Cole. Away by Essien, chased up by Danielson.
Already Arsenal have got into their passing game very quickly. They keep a very tight midfield with Fabregas there at the core of it, passing the ball and looking to get Theo Walcott on it as quickly as they can. It'll be interesting to see that battle between his pace and Ashley Cole's pace as well.
Ballack. Essien. Drogba's miscue worked out okay for Ivanovic. Chelsea here playing in their 18th FA Cup semi-final, hoping to make their 9th final. For Arsenal, it is a 26th FA Cup semi-final, a record with which Manchester United will keep track tomorrow. And Arsenal looking to reach the final for what would be the 18th time. This is Diaby. Dispossessed cleanly by Lampard, given back though by Anelka, and it's Diaby again, who was aware of Fabregas. Alex shielding in front of Adebayor. Gibbs. Adebayor can keep this alive. Lost his footing. A couple of players in that section of the pitch have lost their footing inside the first 2 or 3 minutes. And there is talk about the pitch, Graham.
Yeah, there has been ever since it was first put down. The surface, the top surface, seems to come away from under the foot. It's in lack of grip for players. Makes for a very uncertain sort of passing when you plant your foot. And obviously if you're trying to change direction, if that surface is coming up, it's going to really cause a lot of hesitation when you're going to close players down as a defender.
Ballack, Lampard. Lifted forward by Terry. Drogba's after it, Fabianski has come, Drogba got some on it! And it was not quite enough to win the race with Kieran Gibbs. The young full-back has earned this court already because the young goalkeeper effectively went missing here. Gibbs, Arsenal's hero. Fabianski, a relieved Pole. Malouda's corner, hit the first man. Lucas Fabianski has played in all of Arsenal's domestic cup ties this season, regardless of the fitness of Manuel Almunia. There was no question about his selection today. It's Hobson's choice. Terry, Essien. Much needed calmer feel of the ball for Fabianski. Fabregas, Danielson, Diaby, Walcott, Boué beyond him from full-back. Walcott looking to play in Diaby. Essien tidying up. Michael Ballack, who will have an appetite for this match based on the fact that he was injured for the 2007 FA Cup final. First one back on this ground. Here's Walcott, running at Terry. He was assisted by Ashley Cole.
Drogba showing his strength there. He's already started the game full of confidence, taking the ball out the sky there and just shielding it, drawing a foul from Torre.
Help Malouda with the pass, and there is evidence very early in the game that the Wembley pitch is suspect. The first pick defender in Arsenal's back four, though Silvestre alongside him clearly has a great deal of experience and big match experience. Fabregas's pass cut off by Ballack, it came back to Nielsen, and then Fabregas again, and now Gibbs. Ivanovic got his work done. Silvestre, twice a cup finalist with Manchester United, one win, one defeat. Toure, one of the survivors of Arsenal's last cup final appearance in 2005. Van Persie is another, but had nowhere to go. Forward by Ivanovic, not a problem for Silvestre. Clever feet from Nielsen. Fabregas. Adebayor. Aboué. Nielsen. Adebayor with a slack return touch. Lampard linking with Essien.
Really get a sense, Peter, that this midfield battle that's going on at the moment is just setting the tempo for the match. The space that Arsenal are looking to create, breaking the lines and just getting in between the Chelsea players. Can it work for them?
A few of the Arsenal non-players, Eduardo there, Johan Djourou, before them Bakary Sagna. Game that hasn't settled yet. Probably the biggest game in the short so far career of Kieran Gibbs, only 19. His fitness was questionable coming into it. He has already made the significant impact on it with a goal line clearance from Didier Drogba. Nelson's clearance header came to Ballack, Lampard, Ivanovic, Terry, Ashley Cole. Won't need telling when it's him. Malouda, Essien. Shaken off it by Diaby, who is penalised.
Good patient play by Chelsea there. Essien getting the ball, letting it run across him, and Diaby just an outstretched leg, more clumsy than malicious.
Given the events of the week, it wouldn't be surprising to give. Given the events of the week, it wouldn't be surprising to see Chelsea give Alex the opportunity to clobber this. Fabianski would be wary of it. Alex in the vicinity of it with Frank Lampard. Here's Alex. Didn't catch that one quite the same.
I think even that was a little bit too far out for Alex. He's a tremendous striker of a ball, but it's a long, long way away.
Walcott, smartly beyond Lampard, and then rolled only into the feet of Terry. Won by Ashley Cole, who went headlong over the challenge of Kolo Toure. No card shown. Kolo Toure, one of three players sent off when these clubs last met in a showpiece final, the League Cup final of 2007.
He was always going to be second to that Colatori, but couldn't afford to let Ashley Cole pick up the ball in that position. He would have been in on goal then.
Lampard's take, Drogba's flick, Alex's climb, and the referee's whistle. Arsenal do have an extraordinarily good record against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Over the last half-century and more, Arsenal have prevailed the last 7 times they've come together in this competition. Most recently a 5th-round tie at Highbury in 2004. Chelsea last beat Arsenal in the FA Cup in January 1947. Forward by Fabregas. Terry had it well read. Lampard. Silvestre across in front of Drogba. Fabianski's clearance worked out for Diaby. Lampard with a hungry sliding tackle. Boué and Diaby. A little flick out for Malouda.
I don't think he'll get away with many more of those, Diaby. That's the second one in the space of 5 minutes now. And to see Arsenal looking to break quite quickly, they can get forward to Adebayor very easily. If he's got a yard, he'll take that chance, and with the quality of Fabregas, is always dangerous, looks likely to pick him out.
Essien. Diaby away from Drogba. Fairly undistinguished first 12 or 13 minutes. First of the weekend's FA Cup semi-finals. Both these teams having to relift themselves after major results in the week. Chelsea perhaps the more so. In forward to Adebayor, hoofed away by Terry. Van Persie. And Gibbs, short of confidence, but short of options once Ivanovic and Essien had combined. Diaby pouncing with good appetite, and Walcott with sweet feet going over Frank Lampard. Cursory apology from one England international to another.
Yeah, he's always late there, the quick feet of Theo Walcott, quick off the mark. Frank Lampard, I think, being so early on in the game, gets away without a precaution. Certainly later on in the match, that'll be a yellow card.
Well, Martin Atkinson has been fairly tolerant in the early section of the game. And Persie in charge of Arsenal's free kick, with Silvestre forward and Touré forward, and Diaby adding height. Malouda being asked to retreat the full 10 yards. In by Van Persie, shielding as ever was Essien. Gibbs. Not again by Terry, and sorted out by Lampard.
Composure and experience there by Frank Lampard, read the situation, realised that he could head the ball back to Petr Cech, and nice cushion header down.
Walcott and Boué becoming involved with each other. Denilson. Gibbs. Diaby. Nicely done by Van Persie. Moved on for Adebayor. He holds off Terry, slings it wide for Walcott. Adebayor. Cole's header out. Terry completes the clearance.
Again, good build-up play by Arsenal from left to right, trying to isolate Theo Walcott against Ashley Cole. They really must fancy his pace against the Chelsea fullback.
Nielsen with a slack pass, Ballack quickly onto it, Drogba alongside him, Essien forward too, Ballack has found Didier Drogba, who carried it almost beyond the line, but in achieving his primary goal of keeping it in play, he merely found the gloves of Fabianski. Walcott. Well to find Diaby in a tight situation. Fabregas. Gibbs' first touch just invited in Anelka. But Arsenal have a throw. That's interesting. Players have been slithering around, and one or two of them look as though they might be inclined to change their footwear.
I don't know if that's going to make any difference, to be honest.
Boué, Diaby, Boué, and Percy, to Nielsen. And tackled by Essien. Nielsen was there for insurance. Fabregas, Adebayor, Gibbs going beyond him. Adebayor, nicely worked for Gibbs, and Walcott! 1-0 Arsenal! The red half first to cheer, and it's their young English hero again, Theo Walcott. Not to be underplayed, the contribution of the young English fullback Kieran Gibbs.
That's well played by Adebayor, feeding into Gibbs, who gets a lovely cross into the far post. Theo Walcott hitting it with his left foot. It's a decent finish. Petr Cech's already having to close down the near post as the ball goes across him. And that's a well-timed, comfortable finish by the young Arsenal winger.
Theo Walcott, who scored a beauty against Villarreal in midweek, who opened the scoring when Arsenal played Chelsea in the League Cup final, their last showpiece meeting a couple of seasons back, and of course Arsenal went on to lose that game. But he's opened the scoring again here.
This man on the ball here, Nicolas Anelka, just let Gibbs get the wrong side of him, and you let a fullback into that area, or any player into that area, and it's dangerous. It always creates panic when the ball is in behind your back four.
Didier Drogba momentarily flawed. Theo Walcott simply lives a dream life. Until now, his only FA Cup goal had been scored on his competition debut for Southampton against Milton Keynes Dons. Now he has one in front of a full Wembley Stadium, which could carry Arsene Wenger to his 6th FA Cup final. And Petr Cech, who conceded 7 goals in his last 2 games, is bending over and picking the ball out again.
There was nothing he could do as the ball was played by Walcott. Hits Ashley Cole on the hand, deflects it past Petacek, who's already, can't change direction. He's already going the other way.
Diaby, strong enough to hold off Ballack. Van Persie. To Nielsen.
Arsenal really have dictated the pace of this game so far. They're keeping it when they need to, moving it from side to side very well. And Chelsea really are only counter-attacking. They're trying to get in behind Arsenal, but at the moment the quality is not there.
Ballack being harried by Van Persie, who is penalised. Oh, and Ballack took retribution of his own there. Not the first time Germany and Holland have locked horns. Ivanovic, shaken off it by a clearly pumped up Robin Van Persie. And there's a man who will have been pleased to see an Englishman score at Wembley. Walcott's last appearance on this ground was for him in last October's 5-1 drubbing of Kazakhstan. Lampard wide for Cole, and in for Malouda. And right across the face, evading both Fabianski and Drogba.
It's the other full-back this time, Ashley Cole getting forward, Theo Walcott switching off, letting him get behind him. Lovely first-time ball into the path of Malouda. And that's a cross-come shot in front of the goalkeeper. All it needed, it was the right thing to do, it was a very tight angle. All it needed was a Chelsea player just coming in on that far post to make it 1-1.
Diaby, and Persie, Gibbs. Drogba down for Ballack, outstep Touré, came back to Malouda, Essien. Malouda lost out to Fabregas, who in turn lost out to Lampard, and Lampard's gone for goal. Quite optimistically.
Well, we know he can score from there. I think he could have quite easily taken it another couple of touches. Chelsea were outnumbering Arsenal at the back there and had a chance to really, for Frank Lampard to really drive on into that space.
Tackled by Essien. Lampard asked just too much of Florent Malouda. He's hitting, hasn't done an awful lot wrong as interim coach of Chelsea, played 12-1-9. He's their third FA Cup manager of the season. Phil Scolari did the first couple of rounds. Ray Wilkins stood in at Watford.
There's an issue for Chelsea in the midfield area. I think Gus Hiddink asking Michael Essien to move into a more advanced position, maybe slightly unfamiliar for him, and Michael Ballack dropping back a little bit to get on the ball, and I think with the quality of his passing and vision might give Chelsea a bit of a more creative, longer range option.
Van Persie. Oh, Diaby has kept that in and can run now at Alex with Van Persie alongside, and Van Persie never got settled over the shot. Ballack. Anelka. Terry. Cole. Aboué. Intervention by SCN. Rather nicely, an apology from SCN to Fabregas.
He's just checking that he definitely caught him, I think. It's lacking a little bit of quality, Chelsea, at the moment. They look a little bit one-paced. They're not quite sure whether to press Arsenal or to sit off them, and it's giving Arsenal a lot more space on the pitch.
And one is bound to ask, Graham, whether the melodramatic nature of events at Stamford Bridge in the week is counting to some extent here. Mine here's Lampard, and what an audacious try that was from Didier Drogba. Some way over in the end.
Again, Lampard picking the ball up in a dangerous area in advance of the Arsenal's midfield, sliding in Drogba, winning it here, and then sliding in Drogba, and a first-time effort. Spotted Fabianski off his goal. Right idea, slightly wrong connection.
Gibbs and Denilson were on different wavelengths there. Silvestre sorted it out for them. It's bounced back for Ballack. Essien. Toure invites Fabianski to come. Mourinho took them to a final and won it. Vialli won them a final in 2000, Hullet in 97. Chelsea's other cup-winning manager was Dave Sexton back in 1970. Versus Hoddle and Ranieri, both also took Chelsea to a final. If you take out the short-stay bosses, versus Grant and Scolari, and Chelsea's last 5 managers of substantial tenure have all taken them to an FA Cup final. Hoddle, Hullet, Vialli, Ranieri, Mourinho. Away with Walcott. Moved out for Drogba, shifted on by SCN, but too far in advance of Ballack. And here's Van Persie. Denilson. Gibbs. Diaby for Adebayor. Alex was close to him. Denilson. Silvestri's ball seen by Ivanovic. Persie's getting through a fair amount of work. Fabregas lifting it forward. Flag is up. Walcott was denied anyway by Czech.
Yeah, the assistant referee put his flag up very, very quickly, which suggests he got it spot on. It's a long run from Walcott there, but that is ever so tight. Certainly the advantage went with the defending team then.
Phil Sharp is one of the world's best. He has lined a World Cup final. But he might want to review that one.
I think he will. It's so difficult when a player like Theo Walcott gets ahead of steam and they're making their run from such distance to actually see the point at which they cross the line of sight of the linesman.
Lampard denied access to the penalty area by Toure. Ballack. Malouda. Chased out by Diaby. He ran into Alex. Terry was alongside. Cole. Into ground. Malouda didn't see that happen. And Hiddink is a fidgety figure at the moment.
Yeah, he's not happy. I certainly feel that Arsenal are winning the tactical battle at the moment. I think Gus Hiddink there just telling the linesman that he's had a nightmare. He's probably seen it on the tape down in the dugout and realised that yeah, that he.
Cole, Malouda. Cole's kept at it, Walcott's not letting him rest. The decision has gone Chelsea's way. Arsene Wenger is not convinced it's gone the right way.
Some frustration starting to show themselves on the pitch. Ashley Cole should have had a foul earlier. Maybe that one wasn't quite a foul, but the ref, I'm sure, is giving him the benefit of the doubt, knowing that he made a mistake earlier.
Anelka. Error by Ivanovic. Gibbs, who has wind in his sail after a confident first half hour of the game and a significant contribution to the goal.
They're looking sharp for Arsenal.
Fabregas, gorgeously spread for Walcott, who can worry Cole here. And plays, by his standards, a slightly nondescript ball into no man's land. Essien. Forward by Lampard, an inviting ball for Malouda. Malouda equalises! Fabianski beaten at his near post by Malouda for Chelsea, and the cup semi-final is all square.
This is a player in form for Malouda. He's been on exceptional form in the last few games. Great spot by Frank Lampard. Malouda, oh, just onside, I think. A lovely first touch, and then he comes inside Torre and hits that low across Fabianski. He opens the angle up for himself, and that's a great strike.
It is Malouda's first ever FA Cup goal. And I wonder what goalkeeping purists would make of Fabianski's position. A pure enough strike, certainly, but no goalkeeper likes to be beaten at his near post.
No, it's always difficult when a player comes in off the line. He's opening the goal up for himself. The ball goes through Eboué's legs, and I think the goalkeeper is always going to have to move to his left, and then to tuck that ball into the corner is always very, very difficult for a goalkeeper to get from that angle.
Essien. Coaxed forward by Lampard. Little shove by Walcott on Ashley Cole. Those two are having a bit of a ding-dong now, and Martin Atkinson is evidently aware of it.
He's certainly got the goal side of Theo Walcott. That's not for the first time. He gets caught a little bit flat when he's watching the ball. Theo Walcott loses his fullback, and Ashley Cole is a fullback we know likes to get forward. So once he's behind him, I'm very surprised actually the ref hasn't booked him there.
Drogba has taken charge of the ball. The referee is insisting that he wait for the whistle. He has 4 goals in his last 3 games, 8 in his last 10. Drogba coaxed it in. Adebayor missed his kick. And Percy bundled it away. Cole. Essien, clear of Danielson. In for Malouda, who tried something elaborate. Lampard was last man back. Ivanovic, Lampard. Aimed it at Anelka. Gibbs away. Terry behind it. Walcott defending. Danielson. Lampard. This could squeeze towards Drogba. Silvestre had to be sure. Fabianski helped him out.
That's again great anticipation by Didier Drogba. They had no right to get on the end of that, and he so nearly did from the header back from Silvestre. Certainly the momentum's with Chelsea now. They've upped their game, they've upped the tempo, they're getting amongst the Arsenal players and creating a few more opportunities.
Drogba. Bullied it wide to Anelka, who has Ivanovic wide of him. Ivanovic with the cross. To Nilsson with the tidying up. And Diaby running into trouble. It's Anelka! He's hit the post! Desperate moment for Abu Diaby, who got himself in an awful muddle in just the area of the pitch where simplicity is generally the better option. And Nicolas Anelka was a post width away from making him pay. Ballack. Malouda. He's got himself a corner.
Yeah, Chelsea have pressed another 20 yards up the pitch. Here Arsenal overplaying it. Diaby there losing it to Anelka. What a great strike again by Nicolas Anelka, and ever so unfortunate not to score.
How the mood and momentum has changed. Lampard with the corner. Partially cleared by Touré. Lifted back in by Essien. Nicked on for Malouda. And finally claimed by Fabianski, who's quick to hurl it in the general direction of Adebayor, but he was so isolated and Lampard had a long time to see that coming. Ivanovic had too much to do, and Anelka couldn't take it. Ivanovic has got in at the back of Van Persie and will be booked. It wasn't a pretty tackle.
That certainly is a yellow card tackle. In behind by Ivanovic on Van Persie. He's taking his legs, and that's the sort of tackle that we don't like to see. I think it's a little bit of frustration from him losing the ball, and there's no excuse for that.
Happily no stud involved, which explains why the card was just a yellow one. But it is getting spicy in all areas. Van Persie himself was an offender in the face of Didier Drogba, who made his point not unreasonably.
Yeah, it's expected, you know, the game's suddenly taken on a bit more urgency. Chelsea pressing much higher up the pitch, getting in the faces of Arsenal a bit more, and a couple of tackles starting to go in.
Fabregas with the free kick. Terry away from Adebayor. Lampard. Ballack. Is that a shot?
He was trying to, I think he was trying to hit with the outside of his foot into Nicolas Anelka into the space, and just miscued it, hit it too straight and flat, and obviously was comfortable for Fabianski just to collect.
Diaby. He's located at Eboué. And now Walcott. So flashed it instantly across the face. Gibbs is labouring to keep it in and can't quite get there.
Suggests that Chelsea's revival in the latter stages of this first half is all down to Gus Hiddink moving Essien further forward and making Michael Ballack play a bit more of a holding role. Michael Essien likes to attack, get into people, and he's really put a lot of pressure on that Arsenal midfield.
Ivanovic. Uncertainty again at the back for Arsenal, and Essien has picked out Anelka. Essien. Ballack. Up towards Lampard, and the flag is raised. So that Cole's goal with lash was academic.
Another close call here by the assistant referee on this side. Yeah, he's right this time. There's any pick of three that are offside.
Sorry, Frank. He was right, and you were wrong. Cole snapping in at Walcott again. By Boué. He's dug out of trouble by Diaby. Here's Van Persie and Gibbs. Fabregas. And a miscue by Diaby. Causing great mirth amongst the Chelsea supporters, but not much for him. Malouda working well with Cole again. Cleared by Touré. Terry. Fabregas. Van Persie. Last 2 minutes of the first half. We're going to play in Walcott, who is so quick, but John Terry is so aware.
There's pace, youthful pace against experience there, and John Terry anticipating what was going on and perfectly timed tackle.
Essien, Anelka, Ivanovic, Lampard, Essien, nice thought. Not a problem for Fabianski though. Oh, Terry got there ahead of Walcott, and he's fed Malouda, who drove it against the Boué and had another go and had to settle for a throw. Meantime, Martin Atkinson is going back to a previous offence and showing a yellow card to Michael Ballack, and that's why he stood at the back of Fabregas.
Yeah, the ball's away by the time Michael Ballack's made his challenge, and again I think that's good refereeing. Let the game flow and then make his decision.
This Hiddink Ray Wilkins aren't quite so convinced it was good refereeing, and Chris Foy is bearing the brunt of their argument, the fourth official.
I think they're talking about the Theo Walcott tackle earlier that they felt justified a yellow card as well.
Fabregas charged down by Cole. Malouda's kept it in. Boué slid it away. Fabregas up towards Adebayor, who is again fairly isolated. It's quite a muscular challenge with Terry. A few words followed it. One of those afternoons which you're beginning to wonder whether it will end 11 against 11.
There's just a little bit of edge creeping in. It's all right as long as it's controlled. you know, players don't let it spill over too much, but there's just a few frustrations keeping in. It's up to the ref now to really take control and dictate what goes on between now and the end of the half.
2 minutes to add on. Alex. Toure away from behind Drogba, on by Fabregas. Chelsea are certainly ending the half on the front foot, having played much of the first section of this half inside their own half. Essien. Alex. Lampard. Van Persie's shaken off it by Anelka. And now Lampard. Toure away. And Silvestre for touch. And now it's Arsenal who look really unsure in the vicinity of their own penalty area. Ivanovic, on by Drogba and down by Anelka. Well, no one was ever going to run away with this semi-final. Arsenal started the stronger and scored the first goal through Theo Walcott via the hand of Ashley Cole. Florent Malouda equalised for Chelsea, and we're no nearer knowing who will reach the FA Cup final next month. At half-time at Wembley, it is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1. And the second half follows. Second half of this Eon-sponsored FA Cup semi-final. And nothing between these two great London rivals, who are meeting at this stage of the competition for the third time. Previous two times back in the 1950s, Arsenal won both after replays at White Hart Lane. There cannot be a replay this time. This is a tie that can go to extra time and potentially penalties. I wonder, Graham Rousseau, whether you have a hunch which side might be best placed to finish strongly.
Well, Arsenal started ever so well. In the first half, really took the game to Chelsea, got the ball down, passed it well, created some opportunities, and Chelsea were slightly lacklustre. It took an Arsenal goal really to get Chelsea motivated. In the final stages of the first half, it was all Chelsea. I could quite easily see them scoring another goal.
Still starting the half on the attack though. Lampard's levered a header out, and the whistle is gone. It wasn't an easy first half for Martin Atkinson. I had to take a couple of names. There was some very tight offside calls, indeed, including one in the build-up to Chelsea's equaliser. Away from Adebayor. Van Persie. Aboué. Diaby. A little touch from Terry. See over the dead ball. Terry's header out, it's reached to Nielsen. Fabregas from deep. Diaby from wide. Moving towards Van Persie, away by Alex, and Adebayor! Sure how cleanly he caught this.
It's a decent ball in, half a clearance by Alex. Adebayor never really got over the top of the ball. It was always a bit too high for him, and a bit of a wild strike in the end.
There's 4 goals in his last 3 starts, 2 against Manchester City and then home and away against Villarreal in the Champions League. He's scoring good goals at the moment as well, eye-catching goals. Ballack to Van Persie, who's given it straight back to Ivanovic. Essien. Ivanovic. Malouda. Came back to Essien, cut out by Walcott. He can speed over halfway now with the Cole in his wake. And lifted it way beyond Emmanuel Adebayor.
Difficult pass there for Theo Walcott. He's so quick, he breaks away so fast, nobody else can really keep up with him. Adebayor, isolated by himself, is always going to be virtually impossible to pick him out from that angle.
Diaby. Had gone beyond the pass. And Chelsea can counter here with Cole. Malouda. Cole. Deal with an ongoing torrent of abuse from supporters who used to sing his name. Essien. I suppose they still sing his name, just the words have changed. Forward by Toure. By Diaby. By Gibbs to Nielsen. Fabregas caught on it by Lampard. Silvestre saw the danger. Oh, nice from Fabregas. It's Gibbs. From Alex. And Persie. Aimed in at Adebayor. Terry got his work done.
Wonderful cross in from Robin Van Persie there, and Adebayor makes the run to the near post. John Terry had to use all of his experience to get across him and block the shot.
Here's a Boué. Wants to puff out his chest and go, but there's no prouder puffer out of his chest than John Terry, and he wasn't about to be beaten. Lampard has fed Malouda. Lampard again. Toure got across.
Game's just starting to open up a bit now, which will suit both sides to an extent. Chelsea like to break forward very quickly. Arsenal passing their way through the pitch.
Lampard offside. Essien. In favour of Drogba. Walcott wants Denilson out of the way. Terry for Cole. Forward by Malouda, on by Lampard. Stolen back by Aboué. Denilson has lost it to Lampard, and here's Drogba, and here's Anelka, and there's Lampard. And Arsenal got themselves off the hook, having run themselves into needless trouble.
Brave there by Frank Lampard, really committed to tackling there. Anelka, great pass, and well done, Colatore. What an interception that is. That's a goal-scoring opportunity denied by the Arsenal centre-back.
Lampard's corner. Nilsson's header out, came to Malouda. Lampard. Nicked behind by Sylvestre. It is the Chelsea supporters who have greater reason for uplift at the moment. Their side having started the game a little wearily. Malouda's outswinger, Terry's big leap, clearance by Diaby. Anelka shaped to shoot, then thought otherwise. Essien, Balak. Down by Ivanovic, but out for Adebayor. Didn't make life easy for Van Persie, but Aboué can charge. It's well won back by Cole. Saw Malouda's crossfield, and Ivanovic into touch. I'm here for the Chelsea captain, John Terry. A very visible reason for his ailing state. Headed cleanly, there seemed no ill effect, but clearly the landing has jarred him. And that is not a sight to please anyone other than those holding red scarves.
Looks like an ankle injury on Chelsea's skipper there. When he landed, I think he really took a nasty jar on the ankle.
He's back with us. Here's Aboué. Walcott. Clever. Away from Cole. Just heavy with the touch.
Well played by Phil Walcott then. He's getting much more confident as the game goes on. Wonderful close control. Knows where Ashley Cole is, can feel him and drags the ball past him. Just a little bit of a heavy second touch. Unable to keep it under control.
Diaby looking to prompt Fabregas. After this meeting, there is one more Arsenal-Chelsea fixture still scheduled this season at the Emirates on the 10th of May. That's 3 weeks tomorrow. And of course, the season might end with Arsenal playing Chelsea in the Champions League final. It's an option which would appeal to both. Something that's missing from Arsene Wenger's CV is that European title that he came so close to in 2006. Guarantee a London club winning the European Cup for the very first time. A historical anomaly that none has. Here's Diaby. And Adebayor. And Walcott. Oh! Van Persie needed one more stud's length. Arsenal at their most dangerous since the break. And Theo Walcott again is the source.
What a ball in. Great pace, and Van Persie breaks his neck to get to that far post, but it's just too fast for him. He can't quite reach it.
All big, painful games for the big clubs at this stage of the season, and the margins are so small. Arsenal are up at Anfield on Tuesday for a Premier League game that really matters, off the back of a Champions League game that really mattered. Before you know it, they'll be playing 2 Champions League games against Manchester United, and my word, those will matter. Chelsea have similar commitments. Here's Malouda. Scraped out by Toure. Diaby couldn't keep it. Anelka. Gibbs intercepted Balak's lifted pass. It's kept it from Adebayor, and it is a Chelsea ball. Cole. And then at Drogba, good block by Sylvestre. Drogba again, and Fabianski was always favourite. It's on by Adebayor, but it was on Diaby before he knew it. Was one ahead of Malouda was interested momentarily. Fabregas, Diaby. Caught on it by Drogba, who's rolled it in for Anelka. Essien a long way forward. Lampard alongside them too. It's Michael Essien. Emmanuel Aboué made himself a barrier. Van Persie. Denilson. Fabregas. Walcott. Faced by Cole, with whom he wants to toy. Fabregas went on beyond him, and that shot from Malouda was risky business inside the penalty area. It is just a corner, but this scrum was ill-advised, was it not?
It was. He's got his hands on his back. The ball's just out of play, I think, before he goes down, Fabregas. You can certainly see Malouda's got his arms all over him.
That's a foul.
Every chance that's a penalty. The ball was going out. I think the ref just presumed that it wasn't really an opportunity that he could take advantage of, so didn't give it. But Malouda has to be very careful putting his hands on the player's back in that position.
Just the corner. Van Persie with it. Out by Balak. And Percy once more, clear of Lampard, looking to feed in Fabregas. Cole kept it from going behind, but it is an Arsenal throw. Toure, Eboué, moved down by Lampard. Increasingly a sense that the stakes are weighing heavy here. Forward by Toure, out by Alex. Oh, Lampard hit it against the Abbey, but Walcott couldn't profit because Cole had hold of him.
Be fortunate, Ashley Cole, not to get a yellow card in this situation. Theo Walcott, after the ricochet, you see Ashley Cole's got his hands pulling him back. Quite frankly, that's more than worthy of a yellow card, I would think.
And those two next meet up with England. There'll be plenty of topics for conversation.
It's competitive. They're both extremely fast, naturally, very, very competitive. And just at the moment, Theo Walcott's getting into some good positions. He's creating some opportunities for Arsenal.
Czech has arranged a wall of just two. Arsene Wenger's man over the ball is Robin van Persie. All the way out. Van Persie's done it before. Just coaxed it in, but hit the first man, who was Cole. Kept the ball from Denilson and kept it in play. Then ran into Fabregas, having been fouled. Cole. Steered away by Sylvestre, cushioned by Fabregas, moved on by Diaby. Van Persie, Alex read it well. Van Persie ran out of places to go. Essien, early towards Drogba, seen by Fabianski. Eboué. Fabregas. Walcott away from Terry. And Walcott's delivery, and Alex with a wonderful overhead, but it's come to Van Persie, who's lashed it over and wide.
Good build-up play by Arsenal, a little bit fortunate, but again the speed of Theo Walcott causing Chelsea all sorts of problems. A fantastic interception by Alex there. And a strike, very speculative, from Robin van Persie.
In time, Arsenal had a momentary worry about Emmanuel Eboué, who was grounded after that clash with Malouda. Lampard. And Ballack, and Anelka, and it's bounced behind.
It's Chelsea's turn there to get behind Arsenal's back four. Wonderful pass, reverse pass by Frank Lampard into the space for Michael Ballack. Does everything right here, lifts it. It's just a little bit too high for Nicolas Anelka, who's already in the box. If he'd held his run and maybe arrived, he would have got a bit more height and directed on target.
Drogba's won his header, Malouda's in, Toure's across. So he reached Essien. quarter of the game to play. And then the provision for half an hour more. And if they still can't be split, then penalties. And here's Cole, Lampard, Drogba, Lampard! Great instinctive hit from Frank Lampard. Didn't sit up that kindly for him, but he made the moment, he made the angle, and he was pretty close.
Technically a very difficult thing to do. Wonderful cutback by Didier Drogba. Frank Lampard lets the ball run across his body. Gets a really good strike on it, but just to the right-hand side of the post there.
Lampard's lifted it forward. Drogba is certainly onside here. Silvestra's very aware of him. Drogba squeezed it across, it hit Silvestre. There are one or two queries about Silvestra's hand here. Oof. Didn't quite catch it. Eboué. Adebayor. Diaby. Adebayor. And out by Anelka. Well, Silvestre might argue that Drogba nudged his hand onto the ball there. That would be his case. But again, on another day, the referee might have taken a harsher view. Walcott. Outstrides Alex. Silvestre cleared. Ivanovic came to meet it. Fabregas went flying in. There's not much that's shy and retiring about this semi-final. Flung forward by Ballack. Malouda. And again. Well, in his dreams that goes in.
Certainly technically good enough to strike that. I think the first cross was a little bit disappointing. You see Silvestre here tussling with Drogba. Drogba jumps, which makes Silvestre's arm come up. I think really it would be harsh to give that against the Arsenal centre half, even though technically it has hit him on the arm.
Drogba leaving his arm up. Rest on the ball. That'll be for Walcott. Cole took it from him. Toure. Eboué. Walcott. Touch for Diaby, well seen by Terry. It's come back to Danielson. Flung wide for Van Persie. Adebayor. Fabregas trying to tiptoe in. Ballack caught as he tried to run it out.
Michael Ballack using all of his experience there, the slightest touch. He's not going anywhere with the ball. Adebayor gives him the excuse to go down with his hands on his arm and draws the foul.
Drogba, nice control, chested pass for Anelka. Down by Malouda, lifted out by Toure, down again by Essien. Malouda tried to thread in Lampard. Toure sensed the danger. Adebayor couldn't hold it up. Alex for Chelsea. Lampard. Malouda's onside. Danielson effected the clearing header. Ballack won it back for the Blues. Then Walcott took it for the Reds. Lampard was rolled over, and Martin Atkinson gave a free kick, which Chelsea have taken. Drogba's put the ball in the net. Martin Atkinson's not interested in that. He was concerning himself with taking the name of Denilson.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a free kick, but the reaction from the Arsenal players isn't good enough. Denilson there shoving the referee. Again, very fortunate to only escape with a yellow card, I think.
Fabregas, as captain, is entitled to have a word with the referee. Denilson's treatment of the referee certainly was beyond the bounds of acceptability. Arsene Wenger is charged up. The match is charged up. Could tip either way. Lampard earned the free kick, and Lampard hit it into the wall. Fabregas steered it out. Adebayor. Walcott's desperate to be played in here. Fabregas has achieved that, and Walcott ran away from Essien and had Cole at full stretch.
Wonderful pass by Cesc Fabregas, and Ashley Cole not taking any chances there with Theo Walcott making sure he cleared the ball.
We're going to see Andre Arshavin very soon. With very little experience of the English FA Cup, with experience of this stadium. He played here for Russia against England. Forward by Toure, down by Adebayor, hit by Fabregas. Spun out towards Van Persie. From the Arsenal end of the ground there were shouts of handball.
Yeah, that's a ball to hand. I mean, John Terry's only maybe 10 feet away from Fabregas when he strikes the ball.
First change of the first cup semi-final of the weekend. Robin Van Persie being withdrawn by Arsenal and replaced by the man many thought would start this game. It's Andre Arshavin, splendidly skillful Russian international who today confronts his national coach. Heading. Lifted forward by Lampard. Slightly ungainly clearance by Gibbs. Came down on the knee of Malouda. Finally properly cleared from Sylvestre. Adebayor, Fabregas. Terry's got that sorted. Fabregas won't let him rest. Free kick against the Spaniard.
That's a difficult one to call. And once again, John Terry's he's got the ball there. They're both pulling at each other's shirts, but as soon as Fabregas has got his arms up, John Terry's falling over because he's going nowhere with the ball. Much to the frustration of Cesc Fabregas, who would do exactly the same in that situation.
Wide by Terry. Walcott got some of it, Gibbs got some more.
Playing well, Kieran Gibbs. I thought he might struggle a little bit against the experience of Nicolas Anelka, but he's really held his position well and defended.
And It's headed down. Walcott couldn't take it. Gas rolls it out. And there's less than a quarter of an hour to play. The sun going down over Wembley Stadium. And a gorgeous spring evening. Much like that which traditionally accompanies the FA Cup final, which will be 6 weeks today. Forward by Terry. Miscue by Aboué. Drogba's made that his and has got away from Touré. And just overran it.
Shows the strength of Didier Drogba. He's fully fit now. Nearly wins that one, and then he gets his body in the way, and there's no moving him once he's in that position. Fantastic first touch. And he just doesn't get his foot around it enough for that second touch to drive in towards the goalkeeper.
Ball that didn't help Malouda. Arsenal and Chelsea have never been able to settle an FA Cup semi-final in the first 90 minutes. Stealing an ancient history on the whole, 1950, 1952. They needed replays. Arshavin. Oh, nicely slipped for Fabregas. It's cannoned up off Alex. And was calmly seen back by Cole. Free kick against Sylvestre, just leaning.
Six and 1/2 dozen out of that, really. Obviously, Drogba's trying to get his body in the way. Sylvestre's trying to unsettle him. Surprised the ref gave the free kick at all there.
It's a bit hard on Mikael Sylvestre. It'll feel very hard on him if Drogba and Chelsea were to profit to the tune of a goal now. Inside the last 10 minutes of the 90. In by Lampard. Ivanovic got a touch. He's become prolific now, of course, after his 2 against Liverpool in the Champions League. There's a man who gave Arsenal one of their least favourite FA Cup days, Trevor Brooking, May 1980. He insists still that he meant that header, he didn't just fall over. Is preparing Salomon Kalou. Just Bentner is about to appear for Arsenal. Touch. Malouda did keep it in, but the flag was up against him for offside, and now the changes. Salomon Kalou, whose FA Cup goals this season have come at home and away against Southend. And he will now replace the man who took his place in the starting 11. It's Nicolas Anelka. Whose part in the epic second leg against Liverpool in the week was strangely short.
And the Arsenal substitution coming off the field, number 25,
Arsenal are going to swap one centre-forward for another. Emmanuel Adebayor, always appreciated by those who pay his wages. He's in good goal-scoring form, but not today. And Nicholas Bentner is his natural understudy. So he got up above Diaby. By Boué, taken away by Cole, moved on by Lampard, pursued by Drogba. Fabianski has come, Drogba must score. Chelsea lead at Wembley. 7 minutes to play, the Blues are nearly there, and it's Drogba again, can't stop scoring. Where do you look if you're an Arsenal fan? I fear you look at the goalie.
He made a mistake very similar to that in the first few minutes of the game with Didier Drogba and was lucky to get away with it. But this time, the hesitation proved fatal. It's a long clearance by Frank Lampard. He's looked for Drogba on the shoulder of Sylvestre. Fabianski's committed, and that's a heck of a finish. He's got it on his left foot, lovely pass by Frank Lampard. And once Drogba's away, he knows exactly what he wants to do, but a bouncing ball and a very, very comfortable finish by an informed striker.
5 goals in 4 for Didier Drogba. 9 in his last 11. His second in this competition this season. The man who won the FA Cup for Chelsea here 2 years ago has them within touch of the final. Semi-finals hurt. The worst game to lose, and Arsenal, who are leading, are losing now. That's how it feels to be the supporter of a team behind in the Cup semi-final. And I fear that's how it feels to be the goalkeeper who will cop the blame.
So strong, Didier Drogba. He's given Sylvestre a hard time all afternoon. Always wanted to sort of get his body in the way of the ball. And the power that he has, once he's behind you, must be a nightmare to try and keep up with him. And then the finish, wonderful finish.
With an instinctive lash goalward. Arsenal throwing on another potential ace here. No need for a holding midfield player, and there's a game to be chased. Denilson gives way to Nasri. Drogba just too strong for Sylvestre. Fabianski left a gaping hole, and the huge Ivorian took great pleasure in filling it. Seasons ago in the League Cup final at Cardiff, Arsenal led and lost against Chelsea. History at Wembley may be repeating itself. In the Premier League at Stamford Bridge in November, Chelsea led and lost against Arsenal. Here's Fabregas, here's Arshavin. Out by Malouda, keeping the ball now, wins it for Chelsea, scoring a goal. Takes it beyond doubt. Essien had almost too many options then. Here comes Gibbs. Nasri. Diaby. Bentner let it go. Arshavin tried to twinkle toes in. Terry brought it away. Toure clashed with Drogba, and he's going to have his name taken.
I think he wanted to do that for quite a long time, Kolo Touré there. Real lash out at Didier Drogba. Certainly deserved the yellow card. And that's a frustrating, hard afternoon's work, leaving him potentially with nothing.
Malouda, too strong for Walcott. Drogba, whose shirt removal, by the way, earned him a booking after he scored the goal. Oh dear, tears before bedtime. It's been said for generations, but there is no worse game to lose than a cup semi-final. Drogba for Malouda, who is just offside. Just more than a minute to play, plus stoppages. Walcott. Fabregas. Arshavin. Walcott. Too much on it for Bentner. Diaby hasn't given it up, though. Toulouse determined challenge. It's come to Fabregas. Rolled in for Bentner. Arsenal have to settle for a throw. Just about their last throw of the dice. In by Gibbs. And a comfortable take for Cech, who's had a much more comfortable experience at Wembley than he had at Stamford Bridge in the week. Free kick against Nasri. Can have no further impact on the game. You can just watch his potential FA Cup final appearance ebb away here as Chelsea seek to run down the clock. Silvestre. Nasri. Walcott. Fabregas. Walcott. Clear of Lampard. Through for Bentner. Down the line from Fabregas. Bentner. He's got away from Ashley Cole. Bentner's cross. And Arshavin! Alex threw his body in the way.
Arsenal really throwing everything at Chelsea now. Great ball by Nicholas Bentner there. Good strike. And Alex taking no chances, making sure he clears it.
1 of 3 stoppage time minutes has been played. Arshavin with the corner, Cech with the fists, and Lampard scrambled it clear. As far as Arshavin again, and Cech came very decisively, did well through a great clutch of players. Gibbs, Arshavin. There's a pile of players grounded inside the 6-yard box, all having been involved in a great clash of bodies, which was precipitated by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that was Petr Cech making sure he was dominating his 6-yard line there. As the ball comes in, he comes out, and that's great goalkeeping. Fantastic commitment by all the players involved, but Petr Cech's there to look after that area of the pitch, and he's done that. He's taken no prisoners.
For 6 decades and more, Arsenal have had it over Chelsea in the FA Cup. Poor Lucas Fabianski is likely to be held responsible for an alteration in that state of affairs. He just went missing. Quite a considerable stoppage in stoppage time. The man with the golden touch, Gus Hiddink. He spoiled a few days. Spoiled the day for a few Gunners fans. Party. Don't expect Ivanovic to hurry with this throw. The clock is on Chelsea's side. Arshavin hurriedly forward. Alex away from behind Bendtner. More than 2.5 minutes of stoppage time played. Forward by Abue. Ivanovic out as far as Diaby. Lampard made sure it was his. And Cole clatters it clear. Maybe time just for one more launch from Arsenal. Ivanovic kept it from Arshavin. Ballack. It's a foul by Gibbs. And the game may be up for Arsene Wenger. Fourth place in the Premier League, the Champions League still to dream of. But this one's getting away. It's Chelsea. Blue is the colour. Chelsea are coming back to Wembley. Gus Hiddink continues to do no wrong and will oversee this club's second cup final in 3 years, their 9th overall, after beating Arsenal in this competition for the first time in 62 years. Didier Drogba, their match winner again, at the poor young Polish goalkeeper's expense. Florian Malouda had beaten Fabianski at his near post too, after Theo Walcott had established the lead for poor, grey-faced Arsenal. London's representatives against the North in the 2009 FA Cup final will be Chelsea, 2-1 winners over Arsenal at Wembley.